Hello guys, Ezra here and welcome back to another Ezra review. And on today's review, I want to talk about this movie called Alien, released in 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. Alien is obviously one of the famous franchise ever. It's very influential on the space thriller alien genre in a way. Like it's a very atmospheric movie that still really holds up to this day. And obviously people know Alien also crossed with Predator. And interestingly enough, my first experience with this franchise is actually watching Aliens versus Predators Requiem, which is probably not the best way to start the franchise. But I finally decided to check out the first movie a long time ago, because I love the alien genre. So I thought that, well, might as well check it out, because it was highly rated on IMDb. It seems that there's a lot of cultural impact on the movie genre, so I might as well check it out. And holy shit, man, this movie is a masterpiece. I absolutely love it. It is Jaws in space in some way. So it's really great. So let me just start with how the movie opens up. With obviously you see the title cards showing up little by little. And then you see you hear the music. By Jerry Goldsmith. And I think Jerry Goldsmith's score here is very atmospheric, it's very scary. And you kind of sort of feel the tone of the movies from the opening sequence in a way, that it's just like, yeah, it's going to be a suspenseful movie, and it was. And interesting enough, when you are thinking about the Alien franchise, obviously you think that, oh, this is like Alan Ripley's franchise, Sigourney Weaver's character. But this movie has 7 characters, and I feel like they didn't really focus on Sigourney Weaver immediately in the beginning. If anything, the movie focused on Captain Dallas, played by tomskerritt. And yeah, I think on the beginning it seems like he might be the main character. But I think a lot of people are thinking about Ripley because of the sequel, right? And obviously, I'm watching this movie with a lot of the sequel came out. But I feel like it's really interesting, watching the first movie for the first time and seeing how the movie really focuses a lot on all the other characters, to be honest. It seems like everybody can be the main character in this movie, instead of just like Ripley. Like obviously Ripley becomes the final girl in this movie, but the movie really does a good job making everyone feels like a main characters in a way. Nobody's getting sidelined in this movie, so that's a good thing. So all these 7 members of the crew of the Nostromo, which is their spaceship, are basically like a mining spaceship, I think, and one day they receive an SOS signal, from this planet called AV426, I think. Yeah, LV426, which is where the alien came from in a way. And I love the way the scene was shot and the way the scene was paced, because they received this signal, and then everyone was like, "What is this signal?" I think we should we should respond to it, right? We should help the people because it might be an SOS signal, and then it was revealed that it was an unknown origin and we don't know who it was, and it's like, okay, that was fucking creepy. You are in the middle of the space, you have no idea where you are, and then you receive this anonymous signal in a way, and it's like you don't know who it was, so, but they decided to check it out anyway, because it was part of the company policy in a way, where if you receive a signal or something like that, then you have to check it out, and there's also this thing called salvageable, so it's like if you encounter something that doesn't belong to anyone, then you could take that as your bonus in a way, and then I guess to the company called Weyland Yutani, which is like the overarching antagonist on the Alien franchise, so I think that's really cool, So they get to the planet, right, and they get a spacesuit, and then they went out to the planet, and then they finally found this giant spaceship, which is explore more in Prometheus, which is the prequel in this movie. I don't think the prequel is necessary, but I'm gonna talk about that later, But the way they revealed the scene for the first time is absolutely amazing, because it's really atmospheric. I said it a lot. It's really atmospheric, but it is, it's a giant compliment, They saw the spaceship. They said like, "What the fuck is this?" Like what the hell, And then they enter the spaceship and they see this giant alien, essentially, the engineers, right? We know them from the Prometheus. They're called the engineers that created human in the first place. But back in the day, this must be like a really huge like brain theory times, where it's like, where did this alien come from? What are these alien, and why this alien this giant alien that die in like the control for the ship, I think. They carry a lot of the xenomorph egg, essentially, the facehuggers egg, in the ship, which I think, again, the practical effects on this movie is really really cool. Like the Nostromo ship is, I think, it's a miniature, right? So I think that's really really cool because back in the day there is no CGI, there is no visual effects, so everything is practical. And man, the practical effects still holds up to this very day. Like the ship looks so real because I mean it was real, but I feel like the way it was shot is so incredible. Like you can feel the absolute scale of the planet, the ship, and then the Prometheus ship, you could say that, and the giant alien that die in that control ship, it's just like wow, it's really really good. It's really scary, especially if you watch this for the first time. Sadly, I know that is the prequel, the Prometheus, in a way, and it's like, yeah, I feel like the prequel kind of ruins it, to be honest, because I feel like this could be the big brain theory time, like I said before, where you can theorize what is this giant alien, why is it here, and the signal, it was revealed that it wasn't exactly an SOS signal, but it's actually a warning, to stay away from this planet, to stay away from their ship because of the facehugger, because of the xenomorphs act in that ship, So you're kind of wondering why this ship carried a bunch of action. Is it like they're creating this alien as a bioweapon, or is it like they try to, maybe they try to destroy it, they try to keep it away from any life form possible, and that's why they send a warning signal instead of just like an SOS signal, So I think it's like, yeah, it's really really cool idea to theorize, but we don't need to do that anymore because like the prequel movies exist, which I think really kind of ruins it, because I think it will be much more scarier and much more interesting, if there is no prequel and we don't exactly know where the xenomorphs come from, because I don't think we need to know the origin of the xenomorphs, in my opinion, because I think it's a lot more scarier and it's a lot more intriguing if to this day this mystery was never resolved, that there is a giant spaceship in a planet, and there is a giant alien that drive the ship and die in the ship, a long time ago, and the ship has many alien eggs, Why is that? We never know, I think that would be much better if we never know the actual answer, until Prometheus and Alien Covenant came up, which is not a very good movie, provided us with some answers to the mystery, and it's just like not fun, and especially I don't like the way the engineers look in the Prometheus. It looks like human, which I think, yeah, makes sense that they created humans, so they kind of look like humans, but the way you see the engineers in this first movie here, you see his face is actually really scary, it's actually really terrifying to look at, in my opinion, even though it was revealed that it was not his face, but it's actually a mask, that he wore, and it's just like, okay, sure, I guess, like that kind of ruins it, in my opinion, so I kind of wish that it was much more a mystery to this day, because I think, again, people can build their own many theories and headcanons to theorize where the xenomorphs actually came from and why this spaceship was here and why it was abandoned and why it was sending a warning signal, so I think that was way more scary, but they don't do that, sadly, but anyway, I'm going on a tangent here. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I don't like the prequel that much, so I have to talk about it, But anyway, back to this movie. Finally, one of the crew members was actually get bitten by a face hugger, because he get too close to the alien X, and then throughout the entire and in the Nostromo ship, Ripley basically said that no, you cannot let him in, because like there is a quarantine rules, especially there is something on the guy's face that you're not supposed to let him in, because I think we all might die if you decide to do this decision, and then well, that turns out to be true, in the end of the movies, so yeah, I think Ripley's the one that's actually being smart here, even though the Captain Dallas was like, no, like open the door, we need to save our friends, and Ripley was like, no, like I cannot open the door because of the quarantine rules, you might endanger everybody in the ship, So Ripley actually tried to do like the right thing in the movie, but obviously Ash, decided to open the door because of the reasons, that we see later on. And then on the spaceship, the Nostromo, Ash decided to do like basically try to figure out what is this thing on this guy's face, and then as he cuts into the face huggers like fingers, you could say that, or like the legs, it bleeds acid, and it was like an acid blood that basically went through the entire ship, like I guess like almost the entire ship in a way. Two levels of the ship, so I think it's a really dangerous way. Like you don't want to kill this thing, because obviously it will create a hole in your spaceship, and obviously that's not a good thing, So I think that's also another good reason why they didn't just like shoot the alien or just like kill the alien immediately, because again, the acid blood, so like you don't want to kill him because of that, So I think that's a really good reason in a way. But after some time, Kane, which is the executive officer who became the host for the facehugger, actually wakes up in the morning because the facehugger died, and then asked was to keep the body, so they can research it even further, and then everybody thinks that, oh, like everything went back to normal, that was okay, I guess, and they have a last dinner before they went back to sleep, before they go back to Earth. And on that dinner scene, we get this one of the most iconic scene ever where Kane all of a sudden feels pain in his chest, and then this is where we get to see our first chest busters, and I think interestingly enough, I don't think they tell any of the actors on the set that, oh, they're going to be like a chest buster appearing on Kane's chest, So I think their reaction from most of the actor or actresses are actually genuine in a way. I think several of them knows about what's going to happen, but for the most part, I think most of them are genuine reaction, and yeah, I think this is a really cool reveal for what the chest buster was, and then the chest buster ran away, onto the ship, and the crew decided to catch the chest buster. They're using this like tracking device, which I think really cool. I also like the technology of this movie. I think it was like a 70s people try to imagine what the future technology will be. Which is like they're very wrong, but at the same time, it becomes like the style of the movie itself. So I think it's really, really cool. But anyway, they try to find the chest buster, and then they're ending up finding a cat, and they order this one guy, Brad. They were ordered by Parker and Ripley to find the cat. So they won't mistake the cat for them. After that, we get to see my favorite scenes in this movie, which I think one of the most iconic scene in this movie is that Brad finds the cat, and then as the camera focuses on his face, you see in the background the fully grown xenomorph like climbing down from the ceiling, and then you see his face like lifting up, it was like so cool, the design is so cool, and as Brad look at the xenomorph obviously kills him, but the movie never necessarily show anything beyond that, and instead just focusing on the cat's face, so I think that makes it really, really creepy because like you can imagine what the alien does to Brad instead, and then you only have the cat raw reaction to the scenes, and it's just like super, like it's really cool, the way Ridley Scott decided to shot that scenes, and again the xenomorph is really, really cool design, so I think, yeah, man, I love this scene a lot, guys. I think this is like the one scene that I always remember from watching this movie, and I was like anticipating that scene a lot, and especially rewatching it recently, I was like, okay, give me that scene, give me that scene where they reveal the xenomorph for the first time. Like it was so cool, It was also so scary at the same time, the way you're only focusing on the cat's perspective in a way. So it's like, yeah, it's really, really cool, and really, really creepy at the same time. But after this, Captain Dallas decided to, what? I'm gonna go to the vent, like the air duct system, because that's where the xenomorph has been moving around, around the spaceship in the Stromo. So we get another tense scenes, where I think Lambert, I think that's her name, decided to guide Captain Dallas and throughout the air vents, and then as they try to trap the alien, try to flush the alien out of the Stromo, because again, remember, they can't kill the alien. They can't kill the alien because of the acid blood that it has, But as Captain Dallas tried to navigate throughout the vents, I think there is something wrong with the tracking device, and then the xenomorph managed to capture Captain Dallas, and after this one scene, this is where the movie actually really focusing more on Ripley, because I think, don't get me wrong, Ripley is an authoritative figure throughout the entire movie, but after Captain Dallas died, that's where I think Ripley really takes over the movie and becoming the main protagonist, and then she's the one that start to order everybody around her that, okay, let's do this plan. We're gonna continue Captain Dallas' plan and try to flush this thing out of the spaceship, because again, we can't kill it on the spaceship, it's dangerous. So Ripley form a plan, and then she tries to communicate with the AI of the ship, which is called Mother, right? And there's this one really cool room, which is like again how the scientists imagine what the future computer looks like, and again it's just really stylish, I really really like it, and it was revealed that by Mother apparently that the company apparently know about the alien, the creature, and they don't want the specimen to be killed, and all the other Nostromo crew, they were expendable, like whatever. If they die, whatever. We don't care, essentially. But the creature is their number one priority to keep it alive and try to deliver that to the Weyland Yutani company, because I think they try to use that as a bioweapon, maybe, because like that's like the theme from almost all the Alien movie, where it's like the Weyland Yutani company try to get the Xenomorphs in a way, and they try to maybe weaponize the Xenomorphs, which I would love to see an Alien movie centering around the company. I would love to see someone from the company, the Weyland Yutani company, try to get one of these Xenomorphs. What happens if they actually manage to get the Xenomorphs? Like I was really really curious to see the answer for that. But because they are the overarching villain in this Alien franchise, and I feel like they might be. I think they will explore that more in the Alien TV series. The upcoming Alien TV series called Alien Art. So I think Miss Yutani was set to appear there. So okay, cool. I would love to see their plan, I guess, what they're going to do with the Xenomorphs, right? But this is where Ripley realized that Ash was working for the company, and then after that, Ash is trying to kill Ripley, but Lambert and Parker step in and basically destroy Ash because it was revealed that Ash is actually a robot. Ash is a fucking robot. And the effects on the robot, I think, in my opinion, looks really cool. Again, it's all practical effects, so that's really cool. And there's a lot of milk, obviously, on the scenes. So they decided to reactivate Ash one more time to ask Ash, for how to kill the alien. But Ash said that, oh no, this alien is a perfect organism. It's almost impossible to kill it. So the crew decided to, what, let's just abandon the ship. Like we're gonna take our chances to this escape ship in a way. So they find like they will fire like a distress signal, and hopefully someone will pick it up in a way. They decided to take that chance instead because they can't kill the alien. But on their way to escape, Parker and Lambert was gathering this like I think some coolant tanks, I think, for the ship, and then they encounter the Xenomorphs, and then Parker sadly dies, but dies in a cool way because like he's saving Lambert's life, even though Lambert just sit there not doing anything, which is like because she's terrified of the Xenomorphs, right? And the Xenomorphs kill Lambert using his mouth, essentially his tongue in a way, right? And it's just like, yeah, man, it's just really, really, really cool practical effect, So that's a really cool death scene for Parker, because he's also like one of the MVP of this movie's character in a way, And the alien kills Lambert using its tail, and Ripley saw this, and she decided to, okay, I'm gonna go back to the ship and I think she tries to cancel the ship from self-destruct, but she was too late. So she decided to escape instead, again, taking the chances like his original plan was, and then as the Nostromo exploded, Ripley thinks that, oh, like I'm safe, I'm completely okay, so I'm just gonna go to sleep, go to hypersleep, and hopefully someone will find me in the future. But it was revealed that the Xenomorphs are actually inside the ship along with her, and Ripley decided to put this spacesuit, and she decided to basically flush the alien out of the spaceship, and she manages to do that, and I think that's where the alien quote unquote died. But I also heard that again, like I said before, I think the alien doesn't need any oxygen to breathe. So I think this one specific alien might survive that, because I know that he got burned in the end, but I feel like he's still alive somewhere out there in a spaceship just floating around, so that is certainly a possibility, But I also heard that apparently, according to Ridley Scott, the alien is actually dying, and apparently just like trying to die peacefully in a quiet place, apparently. So I don't know. Doesn't seem. I don't think the alien is dying there, because that would be really weird. Why would it die? That wouldn't make any sense. And I also heard this theory that in Alien Romulus we might see the exact same Xenomorph from this movie. So I think that would be really cool. If they if we see like a xenomorph actually surviving outside in space, because I heard that they don't need any oxygen, so they would survive in space, for a long period of time. And maybe the alien in Romulus is the same alien from this movie. That would be really cool, We will have to wait and see if that was actually correct. So there you go. Ripley records like one final message, and then she decides to go to hypersleep, and that's where the movie ends. And I gotta say, man, again, yeah, it's a really iconic movie, really atmospheric. The practical effects are amazing, the performances are amazing all around, the writing, the directing, the characters are all amazing in my opinion. Even Ash, like he's the bad guy. He's a goddamn robot, But I still think Ian Holm does a good job as Ash. So I think, yeah, everything about this movie, the music as well, the visual, I guess you could say that, is really really amazing, and it still holds up to this day. And I can definitely see why this movie was really influential among the space thriller genre in a way, because I'm pretty sure you can point so many space alien movie that was inspired by this movie. So yeah, this is the movie that really started it all, and I absolutely love it for that. Yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10. It's a great movie overall. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section below, like what is your favorite part about this movie? What is your favorite scene in this movie? Who is your favorite character? So let me know all of that in the comment section below, guys. And how is your first experience watching this movie, guys? Does this movie really terrify you guys? Because I think back in the day, this movie really terrifies people. Like, I mean, obviously nowadays I just appreciate what the movie is. I still think it's pretty scary. But I feel like back in the day, holy shit, it must be terrifying to the audience back in 1979, So I can only imagine, So let me know all that in the comment section below, guys, And stay tuned for the Aliens or Alien 2 James Cameron movie review in the future, because again, leading up to Alien Romulus, So stay tuned for that, guys. And again, if you guys enjoyed this, or guys, click that like and subscribe button, guys. Share the videos to show stuff, Again, stay tuned for more movie reviews in the future. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye!